Welcome to The Youth Will Always Win. This podcast is here to inspire, challenge, and equip the next generation. Whether you're headed to school, cleaning your room, or navigating the busy moments in between, we'll explore what it means to stand strong in your faith and follow God in today's world. Each episode will dive into real stories, practical advice, and uplifting conversations, reminding you that you're never alone on this journey. So plug in, get ready to be motivated, and always remember, no matter the challenges you face, the youth will always win.
Welcome back to The Youth Will Always Win, the podcast where we talk about faith, life, and how to win in the areas that matter most. I'm your host, Pastor Connor, and today we are tackling something we all face: failure. That's right. Times when things don't go our way, when we mess up, or when life feels like it's crashing down. Because trust me, there are times when it feels like it's crashing down. But here's the thing. Failure isn't the end. It can be a stepping stone, a teacher, and even a door to something bigger. And so I am pumped today because my wife, Kailee Pierson, is here to join us in the conversation. What up, Kailee? Make some noise for her. Come on, get excited.
Thank you.
If you couldn't tell, we're rocking with the live audience. But Kailee, what's up? How's it going?
It's good. I'm excited to be on the podcast and talking about such a big subject that I feel like I'm a pro at. So.
You feel like you're a pro at failing? That's sad. I feel terrible, but
it's okay.
Right.
It's a good. It's
all right. It could be good. We're gonna talk about it. So, but you're exactly right. I mean, we're gonna get real and talk tonight about what failure really is, how it shapes us, and how God can use it in ways when we don't even see it in the moment. And so I'm going to jump right into this. My question for you right now, Kailee, is when we talk about failure, what does that actually mean and who actually deals with it?
Well, I'm glad we're starting with what it actually means, because I feel like that's such a good place to start, because I feel like we hear the word failure a lot, but we don't necessarily take the time to really understand what that truly in depth means.
Yeah, I agree.
And so to me, failure, I wrote this down as a definition. Failure means something that didn't go the way we hoped, planned, or expected. And so I feel like this can look a lot of ways, right? Like the everyday life, failing a test, not making the sports team you wanted, messing up in a relationship.
Come on. Who, anybody get dumped in the room? Be honest. Have you been broken up with? I'm saying you said mess up. I would feel, it. True. And some hands did go up for the record. Okay. So just so you know,
all right.
We recorded it and I'm just kidding. No, you're not. Don't worry about it. But anyway.
No, but also, and even the one that we talk about most, in the youth group is just falling short in your relationship with God even. And so who deals with it? Well, everyone deals with it. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do.
Yeah.
How old you are. Everybody messes up. And so failure doesn't also make you a failure. It's just something that happens to us, not something that defines you necessarily. And so I also feel like failure can all be used by God to help you grow, to help you shape.
Oh, definitely.
Even prepare you for something greater that God may have for you in the future. So
yeah. No, you're totally right. I 100% agree with that. We're going to dive into that more here in a few minutes, but I agree. I mean, that is a part of failure. So,
yeah. Well, have you ever thought about how fear of failure keeps us from taking steps that we're actually ready for?
That's a great question. Have we ever thought about how the fear of failure keeps us from taking steps we're ready for? Okay. Again, I know if you're listening, you don't get to see the audience, but we do a live audience for a reason. How many of you in the audience remember your first steps as a baby? Who remembers them?
I can't see.
There's always the guys. Those junior hires try to be funny. They're always throwing their hands up. They are funny, though. So, okay, you don't remember your first steps. All right, let me make a point here. So, there was a time in your life where you rolled, you scooted, you crawled for the first time, and every day you kind of tried something new. I see this as I have a niece and a couple of nephews, right? As they're learning over time to crawl and to walk and to talk and all of that kind of stuff. But as a kid, well, I can see that you all learned how to walk. I wasn't there for it, but you guys learned how to walk and learning by pulling up or scooting or crawling faster. And then better yet, the biggest step came, which was your first step. You had to have a moment of faith as a little baby where you had to take that step and try not to fall. Now, let's be honest. of course, if they don't get hurt, it's very cute and funny when a baby falls. But right, you probably fell in your time or whatever. And so I want you to imagine the first time as a baby, when you're crawling, you're trying to walk, and you tumble over and you fall, okay? I want you to imagine if you as a little baby in your mind was like, guess that just means I'm meant to crawl forever, right? Man, I failed at that. I'm never trying that again. I'm not trying to walk. No, that doesn't make any sense, right? That would be crazy. But fear can often make you guys as teenagers, and really anyone, kind of operate in the same way. Fear of failure makes us crawl through life when God doesn't want us to crawl. He wants us to run. He wants us to jump. He wants us to lean. He wants us to go all in. But if we're so scared of taking a step and taking a good calculated risk, then we're going to be a Christian who crawls our whole life. And growth only happens when we try, we fall, but then we also try again, right? Maybe you had a sports team that you tried out for, or maybe you had a really bad season and now you're like, no, there's no way. I'm not trying out for it. I'm not going to practices. I'm not being on the team. What has stopped you? Your fear of failure. Maybe for you, it's to witness and tell someone else about Jesus, and you invited them to church and they said no. Or you invited them and you felt super awkward about it. And now you're like, there's no way that I'm going to do that again, right? Even though there's times that you have fallen, well, that's not God giving you the okay to tap out.
Yeah.
God doesn't say, okay, because you failed, well, you got to tap out. I mean, think of Peter. Is this not the best example of it, right? He tried to follow Jesus. He stepped out on the boat. And for a moment, he walked on water, right? A total leap of faith. But then what happened? He looked at the waves. He got scared. He started to sink. And Peter started failing in the moment. And Jesus wasn't like, Peter, are you serious, bro? Have fun at the bottom of the lake. Like, no, that's not what he did. Like, are you kidding? That would be terrible. He helped him. He encouraged him. He was there with him. And when he fell, but got back up, well, Peter went on to be one of the boldest leaders of the early church. And so just like Peter, we're going to stumble, but that doesn't mean we have to quit. It's just a part of stepping out in our faith.
No, that's so good. I feel like we're so quick to like just shut the book on something that could be like close the chapter on something that could be a whole book is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like we're so quick to be like, oh, I failed. I'm never, like what you said, never doing that again. And then we just like shut it all together and be like, we'll just put that on the shelf, pretend like it was
I'm not
never
feeling
there.
it. It's
like
come on. Like, do you know how many scraped knees I got trying to ride a bike? I didn't learn until I was 19. I'm just kidding. That's not true. I'm just kidding. I never learned. I'm just kidding. That's a joke too. But anyway, like imagine that with a bike or anything like that, right? Like if you just fell and gave up, like what kind of person would you be? Yeah. Not someone who's determined and willing to really try things out. And so even when we stumble, fall, or mess up, well, God, he doesn't let go. He's right there ready to catch us, help us get back up, keep moving forward, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. But I've been talking forever. Kailee, I got to ask you something. All right. So we're kind of talking about how failure isn't the end. And how that when we fail, it doesn't mean we have to end. We don't have to give up, that kind of stuff. So if failure isn't the end, what can we actually learn or gain from it? Like, why is failure even useful in our lives in that instance?
Yeah. Well, again, like I said, I don't feel like it's the end of all things that you have to put it up on the shelf and let it collect dust, like I was saying. But like, I really truly believe failure is the beginning of growth. And it took me a really long time to understand the depth of what that actually means. And so like failure, it's not fun in the moment, right? Like you're disappointed or you're embarrassed or sometimes it's even painful. Like you're talking about falling off a bike or something like, but failure really does teach you things that success never will.
Oh, that's so good.
If that makes sense.
No, that totally makes sense.
And I'll give you a few examples. One, it teaches you humility, right? So when you mess up, it shows that you don't have it all figured out. And that's really genuinely okay.
Wait, you mean that any listener in this room or wherever they're listening, you mean that if they fail, if they do something and mess up, that's not the end of the world? I just want to make it clear. All right. You got to know that. You got to know that, students. It's not the end of the world.
Ever have it all figured out the way you think you do. Something will go wrong, failure like we're talking about, and you will learn from it and you will grow. But we're getting to that point. But it helps remind us in that humility that we need to rely on God and not our own abilities.
Yeah.
And something else that I believe failure teaches us is resilience, right? When you fail and you choose to get back up because you have the free will to choose, it's not just like you can choose to either never do it again and never try again, or you can get back up and try again. And when we choose to get back up, it does build our mental and our spiritual strength more than you realize in the moment. And so we learn to keep going even when things are actually hard. And then I also think it teaches us a better perspective to have, like what we were talking about. It's not the end of the world if something fails or if you fail at something. Like, that has to leave from our mind. Like, that perspective will never get you anywhere, and it will constantly find you just quitting on all kinds of stuff. You will never try. You will never grow if you have the perspective of this is the end of the world. And so having a better perspective can actually lead to something bigger, in my opinion. And so to wrap what I'm saying up in summary, in failure, we grow closer to God. And what I mean by that is he is the source of our strength, our identity, and our hope, and not our achievements or things that we're successful at and can show somebody on a wall, like, these are all the things that I have done. Like, that's just not what it is. And through failure, I think that we can gain wisdom and strength and perspective. And something else that jogged my memory, I pulled it up so I wouldn't forget, is the verse that talks about rejoicing in suffering, which is funny because, like, obviously we'll have like trials and tribulations in this world, but I think it also can relate to our failures as well. And it's in Romans 5, it's verses 3 and 4. It says, not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope.
Yeah, I mean, that is a great verse. I mean, just the idea of having some endurance, like being able to get back up and shake the dust off your shoulders, you know, like, and not even in a way, hear me when I say, not even to make it overly spiritual either. Like, this is a very spiritual conversation and it all has to do with it, but it doesn't even have to be just these, I mean, like, serious stuff we're talking about when it comes to like spiritual disciplines, like even the sports team, or even like going, this sounds so dumb and nobody is like, oh, I want to go and try to make friends. Like, no junior high or high schooler really says that, but exactly that, like meeting new people, inviting someone to church, like anything like that, even just interacting with humans and learning not to be antisocial in a world that is completely antisocial.
No, that's so true. Yeah. That's good. So in everything that we talked about, what is the biggest lesson that you want the teens to remember about failure when we leave this conversation?
Yeah. All right. Listen here closely. This is important. Shake the person next to you. Say, are you listening?
Yeah.
Are you
sure
there?
They're awake.
Are you ready? They're awake. All right. Perfect. Okay. Yes. Failure isn't the end. That is true. You can learn, you can grow, you can get better from it. But listen to this. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want and call it faith. I mean, if you got a big test and...
You should probably repeat that sentence.
Yeah, I will. That doesn't mean that you can do whatever and call it faith. If you have a big test coming up and you don't study and you fail, that's not trusting God. That's being lazy. Like, it's not like, oh man, like, I don't have a fear of failure. If I fail this test, I know God's got my back. Like, that's like saying I'm going to jump off a building and God's going to catch me. It's like, and you laugh at it, but did we not see the devil try to do the same thing to Jesus in the desert? You know, it's like trying to do that, right? And so saying I have faith, I'll pass without doing your part is trying to step out in faith without obeying the instructions God already has given you, which is his word, right? Faith doesn't ignore preparation. It works alongside of it. So good. And so the same goes with spiritual things. If you skip prayer, if you ignore reading God's word, if you avoid taking steps he's calling you to take, right? Like inviting someone to youth group or standing up for what's right or anything like that, you're setting yourself up to fail. That failure isn't God teaching you. It's just the natural result of ignoring him. So yes, failure isn't the end, but there's a difference between like us being lazy and not doing anything about it, right? But when you do the hard stuff, when you spend time in prayer, when you take that scary step to share your faith or obey even when it's tough, that way that even when you stumble, that's real growth. True failure teaches us, grows us, help us step out in faith in the things that are hard, right? And if our failure comes from disobedience, listen to this. If our failure in our own life comes from our disobedience or ignoring God, that is just natural consequences, not a lesson of faith unless we repent. And so, yes, failure's not the end, but we also got to remember, like, I need to do what God's asking me to do, and I can trust that he's going to be with me and lead me. Yeah. So, Kailee, what's your answer to that? What's your closing thought?
I just want to say, like, you're not disqualified just because you had a mess up, big or small, like no matter what it is. Like, God doesn't love you or think of you any less because of your failures. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the whole point of Jesus coming. Like, God knew that we were going to mess up. And so he sent his son so that we would have the ability to have that relationship with him despite our mess ups and despite being imperfect. Like, that literally is the whole point. So God is not going to just like what you said, like, oh, you failed that test, or you didn't come and read with me today, I'm shutting you out. Like, the book is closed or whatever. Like, that's not what is going to happen. And so, like, we even see that with some of the strongest stories in the Bible. I feel like if you think about Saul before he became Paul, man was out here literally persecuting Christians and then became a Christian and was one of the strongest people that wrote majority of the New Testament, that was literally in jail and was ready to die for what he believed in for Christ. And so even Esther, who 3 different times invited the king to dinner and was trying to find boldness to say, hey, Haman's trying to kill my family. Like, you know what I mean? There's countless times Jonah literally ran the opposite direction from God, got swallowed by a fish, and was like turned around to go back to Nineveh where he originally was asked to go. And he saw a whole bunch of people get saved and turn their lives around. Like, failure doesn't stop you from being used by God or being loved by God.
That's so good. I mean, you're exactly right. So even it kind of sounds like a sins that doesn't make sense, but we can win in our failures. We fail, we mess up, we can win. Yeah. So, Kailee, I appreciate you being with us. Before we close, I have some rapid fire questions to ask. And so sometimes people get a little judgy to the answers. I forgot they're on your paper. I'm glad you didn't read it. But if you need to judge Kailee a little bit because her answer's bad, you can judge away. No, so I'm just kidding. All right, here we go.
It's not going to be like Jimmy John's or something.
Okay. All right, here we go. So, rapid fire question number 1: books or movies?
Oh, books.
All right, get her out of here. That's crazy. All right. I'm just kidding. I knew that.
I already knew I was going to be judged.
All right, favorite cartoon as a kid?
Oh, Dragon Tales or Blue's Clues?
Dragon Tales is wild. Dragon Tales.
Yeah, you literally sing that song.
I know what Dragon Tales is. It's just a deep cut. All right, favorite cereal?
Frosted Flakes.
All right. You know what's crazy though? The other day she's like, "Man, I really could use some honeycombs right now."
About to call me
honeycombs, but anyway, all right, that's crazy. I'm like honeycombs. I'm like we got Oops All Berries on the fridge, Kailee. Like, what are you talking about? We got the 2% in Oops All Berries. This is a good time. But anyway, all right, best ice cream flavor. I know you love ice cream. Is like your favorite dessert.
Cream. All of
best flavor.
Something like Reese flavored, like chocolate peanut butter.
All right. Valid. First valid one.
Thank you.
Socks with sandals, acceptable or no?
Socks with sandals?
Yes.
Okay, I actually have a hot take on this one. I would say acceptable as long as they don't have like a toe strap, like where your sock has to,
who would do that? You're talking
what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Like my sandals, for example, I would not be wearing, that would be unacceptable.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
But if it's just straight straps, be terrible. Then yeah.
What about your favorite Disney movie?
The original Lilo and Stitch, not the live action. I don't like
the live
that.
action one
That
was not very
crap.
good.
It was not good.
It was not very good.
It was disappointing.
All right, normal Lilo and Stitch, I respect it. All right, go-to snack.
I'm gonna get judged for this one too. Like any type of fruit. I'm not like a. I already heard Brendan laugh.
That's crazy.
Like fruit. Or
I like strawberries.
I do. They're good.
All right. One food you would never eat.
Squid.
I mean, I was hoping for like a hot take.
Of you that yes, that's nasty.
Squid is good. Thank you, Evan Bain. I appreciate it. Squid is good. All right. Starbucks order. What's your Starbucks order?
Right now, or like
however you interpret the question.
Okay, well, since it's fall, a pumpkin cream cold brew or a pumpkin cream chai.
Basic. All right.
Thank you.
All the girls got pumped. I saw good little guys clap their hand.
No,
I'm not going to
count pumpkin flavors are so good.
All right. And then last one. If you could go back in time and witness one Bible story happening, what would it be?
That's such a deep question.
Top of your head.
Can I have two answers?
No, one. Rapid fire. Not rapid fires.
Well, you just judge me for cereal.
All right, what is it?
Okay. Probably when Moses parted the Red Sea.
That's a good answer.
Only because you could see the pillar of cloud at the same time that you could see the sea splitting.
It's like a buy one, get one free.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. A little buy one, get one 50% off. I respect
like my deals. So.
I respect the deal. All right. I do want to answer the question, but I don't have an answer. So I feel like
my other answer was going to be creation. Like, I feel like it would be cool to watch everything be.
All right.
created.
I'm stealing that answer. That's a good answer. So
thank you.
But anyway, all right. Well, that's our rapid fire and that's our podcast. That's it for today's episode of The Youth Will Always Win. Huge shout out to my wife for coming on the episode and talking with us about winning and failure. And reminder, we are here to help you win in the areas that matter the most. And so we will catch you next time on The Youth Will Always Win. Love y'all. See you then.